Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our travel community. Every week, we bring you authentic backpacking adventures and budget travel guides from around the world. If you love exploring new cultures, trying local food, and stretching your dollars, this channel is for you. In today's journey, we'll dive into two of Asia's most fascinating destinations for backpackers, Sri Lanka and Nepal. Both countries promise incredible adventures on a budget, but which one gives you more for your money in 2025? Let's find out.
For any long-term traveler, the journey begins not with the first step, but with a question. A practical, essential question that underpins every dream of distant lands and winding roads. How much will it cost? This single factor can determine the length of your adventure, the experiences you can afford, and the memories you'll bring home. Both Sri Lanka and Nepal have long been celebrated as havens for the budget-conscious explorer, offering incredible value for money. But to truly maximize your time and experience, it pays to understand the subtle economies of daily life in each nation. So let's break down the budgets, peel back the layers of daily expenses, and discover where your dollar, or rupee, will take you further. Let's land first on the shores of Sri Lanka, the pearl of the Indian Ocean. Here, a comfortable and fulfilling backpacker experience can be had for around $25 to $30 US a day. Your biggest daily expense, accommodation, is refreshingly affordable. For about $6 to $10 a night, you're not just buying a bunk bed in a fan-cooled dorm, you're buying into a community. These hostels are social hubs, places to swap stories about surf spots, share tips on secret temples, and find travel companions for the next leg of your journey. If you crave a bit more privacy, local guest houses offer private rooms for a modest increase, often between $15 and $20, providing a quiet retreat after a long day of exploring. Now, let's talk about food, the true heart of Sri Lankan culture. Your budget will stretch incredibly far here. For just $2 to $3, you can sit down to a magnificent rice and curry lunch at a local eatery. This isn't just one dish. It's a platter of rice surrounded by a constellation of flavorful curries, dal, jackfruit, beetroot, and more. For dinner, follow the rhythmic clang of metal on metal to a kotu stall. This iconic street food, chopped roti bread stir-fried with vegetables, egg, and spices, is a sensory explosion and a filling meal for a couple of dollars. Throughout the day, you can snack on crispy samosas, sweet pineapple from a market stall, or rehydrate with a fresh king coconut for less than $1. This is where Sri Lanka truly shines, allowing you to eat like royalty on a pauper's budget. Getting around is an adventure in itself. A cross-country bus journey might cost less than a cup of coffee back home, offering a front-row seat to daily life, complete with blaring music and breathtaking views. The iconic train rides through the hill country are slightly more expensive, but are an unmissable experience. However, here's where the budget can bend, or even break: major tourist attractions. While hiking through tea plantations or lounging on a beach is free, the entrance fee to a world-renowned site like the ancient city of Sigiriya can be over $30. Factoring in one or two of these major sites is crucial for accurate budget planning in Sri Lanka. Now, let's journey north to the staggering heights and spiritual depths of Nepal. Here, the daily cost of living dips even lower, with many backpackers thriving on just $20 to $25 a day. In the bustling streets of Kathmandu or the tranquil lakeside city of Pokhara, a hostel bed can be found for as little as $5. On the trekking trails, the economy is different. You'll stay in tea houses where a basic room might cost only $1 or $2, with the unspoken understanding that you'll eat your dinner and breakfast there. When it comes to food, two words reign supreme: dal bhat. This national dish of rice, lentil soup, and vegetable curry is not only cheap, often just $1 or $2 in the cities, but it comes with a powerful promise: free refills. It's the fuel that powers trekkers and locals alike. And of course, there are momos. These delicious steamed or fried dumplings, filled with vegetables or buffalo meat, are a ubiquitous and addictive snack you can find on every street corner for about $1 a plate. But much like Sri Lanka, Nepal has its own significant non-negotiable expenses, primarily for those looking to trek. Before you even lace up your boots, you'll need to navigate the world of permits. A TIMS card, for tracking trekkers' safety, and a national park or conservation area permit can easily add up to $50 or more. Furthermore, as you ascend into the Himalayas, the price of everything, from a bottle of water to that plate of dal bhat, steadily increases. The higher you climb, The further goods have to be carried by porter or mule, and the price reflects that incredible effort. This is the unique economy of the mountains, a critical factor for any Himalayan budget. So what's the bottom line? While both countries are exceptionally budget-friendly, they cater to slightly different spending styles. Sri Lanka's daily costs are marginally higher, influenced mainly by the expensive entrance fees to its world-class cultural heritage sites. Nepal, on the other hand, offers a lower day-to-day living cost, but requires a significant upfront investment in permits for its main draw, trekking. Ultimately, Nepal edges ahead for the pure shoestring backpacker, while Sri Lanka offers a touch more comfort and variety for a very similar price point. The choice isn't just about which is cheaper, but which adventure calls to you. Both nations prove that the richest journeys are often the ones that don't break the bank.
If travel is about discovering the soul of a country, then food is the most direct path to its heart. One of the profound joys of backpacking is surrendering your senses to the local cuisine, and our journey begins on the spice-scented island of Sri Lanka. Here, the culinary landscape is a vibrant, fiery tapestry woven from centuries of trade, tradition, and tropical abundance. The air itself seems to hum with the promise of flavor. You don't just find street food, it finds you. The first siren song is the unmistakable rhythmic clatter of metal on metal. This is the sound of kotu roti being born. It's a theatrical performance where shredded godamba roti is furiously chopped and mixed on a hot griddle with vegetables, egg, and your choice of meat, all drenched in a spicy curry sauce. For just $1.50, it's not just a meal. It's a spectacle and a delicious, carb-loaded hug in a bowl. Then there are the delicate, bowl-shaped wonders known as hoppers, or appa. Made from a fermented batter of rice flour and coconut milk, they are a study in contrasts, impossibly crispy at the edges, yet soft and spongy at the center. An egg hopper with a perfectly set yolk nestled in its base, eaten with a fiery onion sambal called lunu miris, is a breakfast that will redefine your mornings. And being an island, the coast offers the freshest seafood imaginable. Forget fancy restaurants. The real magic happens in the simple shacks along the beaches of Gale or Marissa. Here, you can pick your catch of the day from an icy display and have it grilled to perfection over coconut husks, seasoned simply with salt, lime, and garlic. To wash it all down? A fragrant cup of world-famous Ceylon tea grown in the misty highlands offers a moment of refined calm. Or, for something more robust, a cold bottle of local lion beer for around $2 is the perfect antidote to the tropical heat. From the spicy coastal flavors of Sri Lanka, we ascend into the clouds, trading the Indian Ocean for the mighty Himalayas. Welcome to Nepal. Here, the food philosophy shifts. The cuisine is less about intricate spice blends and more about providing hearty, soulful nourishment to fuel life at high altitudes. The undisputed king of Nepalese food is the momo. These Tibetan-style dumplings are everywhere, from city street corners to remote mountain lodges. Stuffed with minced buffalo, chicken, or vegetables, they can be steamed, fried, or even served swimming in a tangy broth called jol. But a momo is nothing without its akar, a dipping sauce that ranges from a fiery tomato and sesame blend to a milder peanut-based version. For under $1, a plate of 10 is a social ritual and the nation's favorite comfort food. But the true lifeblood of Nepal, especially for trekkers, is dal bhat. It's the national dish, and you'll often hear the mantra, Dal bhat power 24-hour. This simple yet profoundly satisfying platter consists of steamed rice, bhat, a comforting lentil soup, dal, a side of vegetable curry, tarkuri, and a small portion of pickle. The best part, it almost always comes with endless, free refills. It's a gesture of hospitality that transforms a simple meal into the fuel and warmth needed to conquer mountain passes. And no day in Nepal is complete without a glass of chia, the local milk tea. Brewed with ginger, cardamom, and cloves, this sweet, milky concoction, served for just a few cents, is the perfect pick-me-up. A moment of warmth clutched between your hands on a cold mountain morning. So how do they compare? Sri Lanka is a sensory explosion. A complex symphony of spices, chilies, and coconut that speaks of its history as a maritime crossroads. It's a cuisine of vibrant, intense flavors. Nepal, on the other hand, offers the food of the earth and the mountains. It's honest, deeply nourishing and built on a foundation of warmth and sustenance. For sheer variety and a journey through spice, Sri Lanka is unparalleled. But for incredible value and food that fuels the soul as much as the body, Nepal's humble generosity takes the crown.
In South Asia, getting from A to B is never just a line on a map. It's an integral, unforgettable part of the experience itself. The journey becomes the destination, a vibrant, chaotic, and utterly thrilling adventure that defines your travels. And nowhere is this more true than in Sri Lanka and Nepal, two countries where the mode of transport is a window into the soul of the nation. Let's start in Sri Lanka, where the rhythm of life is set to the rumble of an engine. The island's circulatory system is a network of buses, a riot of color and sound. Forget sterile, silent coaches. This is travel with the volume turned up. Privately owned buses, adorned with elaborate paintings and blasting Sinhala pop music, race along the roads, their conductors hanging precariously from open doorways, calling out destinations in a melodic chant. The government's red buses offer a slightly more sedate, but no less authentic experience. For a few cents, you can hop on for a short ride, feeling the warm tropical air whip through the open windows. For just $2 or $3, you can traverse half the country, sharing smiles and snacks with locals who are more than happy to help a lost traveler. It's chaotic, yes, but it's a beautiful, organized chaos that just works. But for true scenic grandeur, you must take to the rails. The Sri Lankan Railway, a legacy of the British colonial era, carves through some of the most breathtaking landscapes imaginable. The journey from the hill country capital of Kandy to the backpacker haven of Ella is legendary for a reason. For less than $5, you secure a ticket to what is consistently ranked among the world's most beautiful train journeys. We recommend skipping first class. Opt for second or third, where the windows pull all the way down and the doors are often wide open. Here you can join fellow travelers and locals, dangling your feet above a rolling carpet of emerald green tea plantations. The train chugs slowly across colonial-era viaducts like the famous Nine-Arch Bridge, plunging into misty forests and emerging to reveal cascading waterfalls. Vendors patrol the carriages, selling spicy vada, sweet tea, and fresh fruit, providing the perfect soundtrack and sustenance for this cinematic ride. From the tropical lowlands of Sri Lanka, we ascend to the roof of the world, Nepal. Here, transportation becomes a testament to human resilience and engineering in the face of formidable geography. The journeys are more rugged, the roads more challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. The workhorse of the Nepali road is the local bus. These vehicles are often old, colorfully decorated, and invariably packed to the brim with people, produce, and sometimes even livestock. They are incredibly cheap, costing just $1 or $2 to get between towns. But be prepared for a slow, bumpy, and winding ride along cliff-hugging mountain roads. The blaring Nepali music and the constant stream of passengers hopping on and off are all part of an experience that is as authentic as it gets. For longer hauls, like the popular route from Kathmandu to Pokhara, most backpackers opt for tourist buses. For around $10 to $15, you get a significant upgrade in comfort, a guaranteed seat, sometimes air conditioning, and fewer stops. But for true mountain access, the shared Jeep is king. These 4x4s are the lifelines to remote villages and trekking trailheads. The system is simple. You buy a seat, and the Jeep leaves when it's full. Luggage is expertly strapped to the roof, and you'll find yourself squeezed in with a mix of fellow trekkers, local families, and maybe a monk or two. It's an intimate and often bumpy ride, but it's also a fantastic way to bond with fellow travelers as you collectively gasp at the sheer drops and stunning Himalayan vistas. And what about getting into these incredible countries? The good news is, both Sri Lanka and Nepal roll out the welcome mat for travelers. They understand the value of tourism and have made their entry procedures remarkably straightforward, especially for backpackers. For Sri Lanka, most nationalities can obtain an electronic travel authorization or ETA online before they fly. Upon landing, this is converted into a 30-day visa on arrival for a fee of around $50. The process is efficient, getting you out of the airport and into the adventure with minimal fuss. Nepal makes it even simpler. You can get your visa entirely on arrival at Kathmandu's Tribhuvan International Airport. Just fill out a form, provide a passport photo, it's always wise to carry a few spares, and choose your duration. A 15-day visa costs around $30, with 30 and 90-day options available for a higher fee. They even accept payment in various major currencies. This backpacker-friendly approach to visas removes a major barrier to entry, making both nations perfect choices for spontaneous adventurers and seasoned travelers alike. The ease of arrival is the first sign of the warm hospitality that awaits you within. In Sri Lanka, budget travelers find cozy hostels in coastal towns for $6.10 per night. Many offer free breakfast and vibrant common areas where you meet surfers, digital nomads, and backpackers from all over the world. In Nepal, you'll find a mix of hostels and guest houses. Dorms in Kathmandu or Pokhara start at $5.07, but what makes Nepal special are the tea houses on trekking routes. For just $3.05, you get a bed, warm meals, and mountain views straight out of a dream. If you crave a strong backpacker community, both countries deliver. But Nepal's trekking culture makes it easier to connect with fellow travelers.
Let's talk about experiences that don't drain your wallet. In Sri Lanka, the beaches are free. The temples often cost just $1 too, and hiking through tea plantations costs nothing at all. Even iconic Sigiriya Rock, though pricey at $30, has a cheaper alternative hike at Pidurangala Rock for $3. In Nepal, trekking is the ultimate activity. Many hikes near Pokhara are free, while major treks like Everest Base Camp require permits but still remain affordable compared to global trekking costs. Temples in Kathmandu Valley cost between $1.05, and just walking the streets of Thamel or Bhaktapur is an experience in itself.
In Sri Lanka, you'll meet surfers, yoga enthusiasts, and digital nomads, especially along the south coast in places like Marissa or Hirikatia. Hostels organize barbecues, surf lessons, and parties, giving it a social beach town vibe. In Nepal, the vibe is more adventure-driven. Trekkers share stories in tea houses, exchange maps, and bond over long hikes. Kathmandu's Tamil district is buzzing with backpackers, gear shops, and cheap bars. So if you're into beaches and nightlife, Sri Lanka has the edge. If you're into mountains and community spirit, Nepal wins.
Both countries are considered safe for backpackers. Solo travelers, especially women, should stay cautious with transport at night, but overall, crime is low. English is widely spoken in tourist areas, making it easy to get around. Internet? Sri Lanka offers SIM cards with 20 GB data for around $10. Nepal is even cheaper. $5 gets you reliable data, even in some mountain towns.
So, Sri Lanka or Nepal, which country is better for backpackers in 2025? If you're chasing beaches, spices, and surf, Sri Lanka is your playground. If you dream of mountains, trekking, and tea houses, Nepal is your adventure. Either way, your budget will stretch further than you imagine. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share this video with your travel buddies. More backpacker guides are coming your way. So pack your bags and we'll see you on the next adventure. Fade out with music plus rolling montage.